Hey gardeners, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'm going to go ahead and cover what is the best soil that you could use for your plants. When it comes down to gardening and soil, there's many brands, varieties, qualities. Everything is different when it comes down to soil and gardening. And as a gardener myself, we only want what's best for our garden. And so something that I always rely on is creating my very own mixture of soil. And what I have realized is the best outcome I have received with all my plants has been creating my very own soil, which means I gather a whole bunch of different materials, I combine them to different ratios, and I go ahead and create my very own soil as I found this is the best thing for my plants. And so I will share with you all the materials I use as well as how I create my soil. I've used this soil multiple times to pot up lots of plants and propagate lots of plants. And since we have already hit 7,000 subscribers, which I am very grateful for, I'll be discussing about a giveaway, which I'll be giving a little bit more information towards the end of this video. So make sure you stick around. So let's go ahead and jump straight into this video and go ahead and discuss about the materials I use as well as how I create my soil and how I use it. So I went ahead and I brought the camera a little bit closer for you guys to see. So let me go ahead and cover what I use in my garden soil. So since I do my very own mix, I buy what's the most affordable or cheapest dirt out there, which is the Timberline cow manure and compost. I've used this for many years. I've loved it. It's very affordable. And this is kind of the base I use for my soil mix. And another thing that is very important is you want to make sure you have aeration in your soil. And by doing that, I use horticultural perlite. This is the brand I use. So this helps allow aerate the soil, in which it allows the soil not to be compacted and allow the roots to grow freely. So I also use peat moss as a form to maintain moisture in the soil as well as to balance out the soil. So instead of using an entire bag of soil, I'll use 50% peat moss and then 50% of the cow and manure compost, as I can have that as my base and then mix everything else into it. So it's not 100% cow manure and compost. If not, I could go ahead and extend how much I use or limit how much soil I use with the peat moss. And this is great material as it retains moisture and allows our plants to maintain hydrated. If you don't want to use peat moss, then you can always use coco coir as well. So I go ahead and use the earthworm castings as one form of feeding the soil for my plants. I usually use this when I am transplanting seedlings or anything that has very tender roots, as this is not that powerful, but it has required nutrients for the plants to grow well and establish in their containers. But if I'm planting something or transplanting something with bigger, more stable roots, I go ahead and use the Espoma Biotone Starter Fertilizer Plus, as this is great as a biostarter fertilizer, as it feeds your plants and it keeps your plants happy for a long period of time. So when it comes down to the ratio of the when it comes down to the soil and its ratios, to kind of break it down or make it a little bit easier, is I use 40% soil, 40% peat moss, 10% perlite, and 10% fertilizer depending on what I'll be planting. So that's usually the ratio I go by. Of course, you can alternate it however much you want to, but this is the ratio I've seen the best success with. And so this is the soil that I come out with. It is a good quality soil, as you involved lots of materials in it like perlite and feed, so it bumps up the quality of your soil. And you get to control what's best for your plants. So you get to put materials that are well draining, you get to put materials that maintain moisture, that are fertilizers. You get to control what your plants receive. And so I feel like that's the best part, as you know you're giving the best to your plants. So I'll be potting up this devil's backbone right here. This is a really pretty plant, and so I did this in cuttings, and it's ready to transplant. So I fill up the bottom portion. Then I pot up. You see, look at those good roots right there. Then I top dress. And that simple. So now you don't have to worry about your plant being in bad quality soil, as it will be fed off the get-go. It won't sit in water as you mix perlite into it. It will also stay hydrated as you mix peat moss or coco coir into it. and it's growing in a good soil mix as the cow manure and compost. You don't have to use the cow manure and compost. You could always use something alternative or you know you have best or you've worked with before. I just use the Timberline cow manure and compost as I've used that for years, and my garden is thriving as all the plants are doing well. And so then I placed this over here with my little group of plants. So all these plants I actually potted up with the soil mix. And let me go ahead and give you a rundown of what's growing. Look at how healthy these plants are. And these were cuttings. Let me flip this over. And look at those roots that have already developed in that good soil. That's a happy plant right there. I also started some sisu spinach, which was actually one of the options in the giveaway post. As well as I also potted up some potato mint, which was another option as well. I also potted up some pink dragon fruit as I do sell these online in Facebook Marketplace. And so it's actually started to push out some new growth right there. I also potted up a starfish cactus right here. I also potted up some vanilla as it's starting to push out new growth. As well as I potted up some blue turmeric as this plant actually won majority vote for the giveaway. I'm not saying that all gardeners have to create their very type of soil. I'm just saying that the best outcome is by choosing the perfect soil. And as multiple of us gardeners do, we create our own soil because we know what our plants are growing in. We know they're going to get properly fed. We know that they're growing in a trusted growing medium. And we know that they're going to be in well-draining soil as well as soil that maintains moisture to keep the plants hydrated. So when it comes down to growing your own plants, whether it be propagating or transplanting or seed starting, doesn't matter what it is, I would always recommend choosing your very own soil, as I've done that for the years that I've been gardening, and I've always had great success out of it. Of course, every gardener is different. Every gardener could see what type of soil they work best for their garden. And especially when it comes down to creating your soil like this, it's only great in small settings. For example, like potting up or transplanting, or you could even use this materials in raised bed gardens, but it's not a good thing to go ahead and put as an amender to your entire garden, as that will take lots of time and it will be more costly to do that. So as a thank you to all of you, we have reached 7,000 subscribers here at the Ultimate Gardener channel. I've been in the media since 2018, and it's been definitely a journey that I've been very grateful for. And so since we hit this milestone, I haven't done a giveaway in, I feel like, a couple years, and so it's time to do one. And you all have decided a blue turmeric is what we'll be giving away. So this is what I'll be shipping out, a sprouted turmeric root. And so this is the blue variety right here, which was something a lot of people really wanted. And so once you receive it in the mail, you just have to plant it right away, whether it be in the ground or in a container, just like how I showcased today, potting these up. And then you'll see they'll start growing. So this is how it'll look from the inside. This is an older tuber or older root, so the pigment has weared off, but it will have a high pigment of blue and purple when you harvest it. To enter this giveaway, I've decided to create a submission link. Since giveaways on YouTube has not been the best because of scams through the comment section, I decided that I'll create a form in which I'll post a link towards the submission form in the description box below, in which you'll submit all your personal information, in which we'll be able to contact you from, and then we'll be hand selecting a giveaway winner next week, Thursday. A few more things when it comes down to entering this giveaways. You want to make sure you like this video, you're subscribed to my channel, and comment down below what are you growing in this extreme heat. Make sure to leave a like and comment down below what you thought on this video, and subscribe to the channel if you aren't already. Thank you all so much for watching this video. May God bless you and your entire family, and never forget to grow big, Ultimate Gardeners. Bye everyone.